Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Investing Club, the place investors go to learn tips, tricks, and stories from other investors in the field. If you feel we provide value to you, go ahead and hit that thumbs up, share whatever it may be, and if you'd like for us to cover a specific topic, let us know in the comments or reach out to us through our website. Today we have a very special guest, so buckle up, grab your pen and paper, and enjoy the ride. All right, we are live. Shawn, thank you very much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us. It's if everybody listening, there's a little bit of construction going on. This is COVID time, so I am doing this from my house. So you might hear a jackhammer or two. So that's fair warning. Shawn, again, thank you for joining on. To get us started, why don't you tell everybody who you are, where you're from, and how you got started in real estate in the first place?
Okay, my name is Shawn Honer. I am originally from North Florida, a little town called Palatka. 45
Think about
minutes.
that one for a second.
I did. I've been going for a while, so since 1993. So
Right.
I actually got into real estate about 2 years ago.
Okay.
My mom had a property that she had, and she inherited the property from her mother. And basically she said, hey, look, getting too much for me. Do you want it? Absolutely. Thank you. And I took that property from her, did a little rehab on it, probably put about $7,000, $8,000 to that property. Got it up and going and found a tenant, renting the house out. And I'm like, wow, I like this. So after 6 months, I said, you know what, I can do this again. And when I found a second property, I did. And from there on, exactly 2 years ago, it's been good. It's been almost like a tattoo, getting addicted to it. You know what I'm saying? You want another one. You want another one. So it's been great.
That's a great analogy. I love that.
Yep.
So that's a cool story. So, what were you doing before you got into real estate?
So I actually work for Homeland Security.
Okay.
And I've been doing this for Homeland Security for 20 years. And before Homeland Security, I was actually in the U.S. military.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And so with my Homeland Security position now and the U.S. military, I travel a lot of places and been all around the world.
I imagine.
And oh my God, it's taken to me over 40 countries that I've been to. And so just seeing just being in a position where you see so many business deals going on, with my current job, like, wow, I want a piece of that too. So when my mom introduced me to that property, I took that experience, what I've seen in the past years, and just put it together. And I tell you, it's been phenomenal. I cannot explain to you how good this real estate game has been for me.
I love it. I'm excited to dive into that. So just to recap, it sounds like, you were in Homeland Security for over 20 years, which is an awesome career. And before that, you were in the military. And just a couple of years ago, your aunt, you said?
My mother.
Your mother. And you inherited a property. It needed a little bit of love. You gave it that love that it needed. And then you started renting it out. And you just, the light bulb kind of clicked, like, wow, damn,
Yes.
this works. I like it.
Absolutely.
So you went on to your next property, and it's only been, uphill or downhill, however you like to see it, since that point.
Yep, that is true. That's exactly what has happened. And Gabe, I'll tell you, just from that 2 years ago, from that first property, of June of 18, there's been many more afterwards. So, and again,
what's your total
nonstop?
What's your total number right now?
So the total number now, we own actually 7 properties as of right now.
That's good.
Our latest deal was actually a triplex.
Ooh, great.
And that deal was down in Florida, actually. And it was just, and that triplex basically is situated in the main city of a city down in Florida, where it's on like a acre and a half lot, this triplex. And so my goal is to do something more to that on that property, put something else on there. So
I like it. You're already thinking from the development mindset.
Gosh, yes.
That's
I really, really am. I really am.
One of the things that I love about real estate the most is how, once you get your toe in the water and you just start to see, you start to see the different possibilities that are available in real estate, you just get excited and you're like, I can build another lot over here, and you just branch out into all the different niches. So I can
absolutely.
The bug.
Yeah. Yep, that's absolutely correct. And that's one of the things I think we all should be doing, So, I mean, there's room to grow. I mean, jump on it, So, and with this triplex, there's so much room to grow on that those grounds. I mean, I'm looking at either another triplex or even a storage unit to go on there. So
I love it.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, I mean, that's a great starting out story. I'm really excited to dive in a little bit more. So why don't you tell us more about, the nuts and bolts of your business? So you're doing buy and holds, it sounds like. So tell us, what is your bread and butter? Is it buy and holds? Do you do flips as well? And how do you go about, sourcing those properties?
Okay, good question. So when I first dived into it, that was my main goal, was just to purchase my real estate and just keep whatever. I'm not selling the property. I'm keeping this property. Experience is a good teacher. And when I first started, with the real estate game, I spent too much money, just trying to get these properties going, So finally I said, you know what? If I can flip one, I probably can free up some debt and actually pocket some money and actually invest, for the properties. So, okay, that's exactly what I did. And I said I would never sell a property. I will always keep them and hoard my property. So earlier this year, I ended up selling that property that I basically inherited from my mom, gave it to me. And that was the first property. It was bittersweet, kind of getting it and then giving it back away, selling the property, but I knew it needed to be done just to really get some money. So with that same, those funds, what I used for was basically a couple of things. I actually brought another house with the proceeds I got from that flip. And I also made a great down payment for that triplex that I just purchased. And then I wanted to do was free up some debt, and basically I paid some bills, with those proceeds of that sale. Now, my goal going forward is to hold, everything I have, just my preference. I don't knock anyone who wants to, just flip. But so now, just with 7 properties I have, my intention is to keep those properties for a while. And one of the things why I do that, again, I mentioned to you, I work at Homeland Security, and I am retiring from the agency in 3 years. When I retire from the agency, I basically just don't want to have my pension coming in, but also this income from my real estate, because I like to travel, so, and that's one of the things going forward, is buying them and just holding these properties, so.
I love it.
And again, 3 years ago to retire. So I have a lot more buying to do, the negotiation, what I'm saying, just to get where I want to get. So my goal is to get at least 30 plus properties by the time I retire in 3 years. And once I get those 30 plus properties, I want to have, this may sound kind of corny, but I'm going to tell you this. My goal is to have each property on a certain due date. One on the first, one on the second, one on the third, that every day money is coming to my my account every day. So
I love
that's
it.
my goal. So,
I love it.
I mean, I know
No,
it
you
sounds
gotta have
corny,
goals.
but yeah, man. So I think it's kind of funny, but but that's where I'm at. So,
Awesome. So,
yeah,
so you're trying to go from 0 properties to 30 properties in 5 years flat. That's a good goal,
yes,
and
yes,
it
good
sounds like
goal.
it'll be great for your retirement coming forward. So, going back to how you actually operate your business itself. You've got 7 properties so far over the course of 2 years, which means it sounds like you're pretty good at locating these properties. How is it that you go about finding the deals that you're investing in? Besides that first one, because that was a gimme.
That was a gimme. That was a gimme. So, one of the ways that I'm probably online looking at least 4 to 5 times a week, and websites like realestate.com. Yeah, but I tell you what I've gotten into here is these properties that's up for auction, basically bank-owned properties,
Mm-hmm.
and I just purchased one for $25,000. This property appraised easily 75,000.
Okay, that's great.
And of course, it needs some work. Most of them do. And so really going forward now, I've got a great rapport with the this company that basically auctioning properties off, and that's what I'm going through, and that's probably what I'll be doing the rest of the year. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah,
and
that's I'm located in Seattle, which is a little bit different of a market. Which market are you investing in again?
single family.
No, which market? Which location?
Oh, down here in Georgia. Sorry,
In
down here in
Georgia, you said Georgia. That's great.
yeah, Georgia. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean, up here there are people that do it, but paying cash for foreclosures, I mean, you got to be using hard money loans. So it sounds like it's a lot more feasible down in that area. Do you use your own money to buy these properties on foreclosure, or
Yeah,
are you using hard money loans?
this is all my money. I have never used hard money lenders. The good thing about this game is that again, my job is I do pretty well, so I'm able to tap into savings, to go get these properties. So and then remember when I told you that I actually sold one, the first property. So those proceeds basically have been going towards buying the property. Now, with that being said, I have used owner finance as well.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Oh yeah, I have used owner financing as well with 2 properties that I have, and that worked very well. Using those owner financing, and matter of fact, if I can't get it from the auctions, where we just pay out my pocket, that's where I go usually with owner financing. And again, I've had nothing but great success with that. So I'm sure there's some horror stories on financing, but I mean everything is done through attorney, so everything's legit. So it's nothing to come back where, it's gonna bite me. So.
Right. Yep. No, I mean, in my opinion, owner financing is the best way to go because you don't have to deal with banks. You don't have to go.
Right.
You don't have to put your own money out there. So I mean, whoever's against owner financing, I'm not in their camp. I think you're doing the right moves there for sure.
Yes, sir.
So it sounds like you're to get the properties. The first one you got from an inheritance, and since then you've been kind of looking to buy them at foreclosure. And you're using your own money as well as the money that you got from flipping the first house that you had. Is that about right?
That's about right. Yep.
Awesome. I love it. So do you have any specific criteria that you look for when you buy these houses?
I do. That's a great question because I've had someone come to me and say, hey, I got this property and you should really take a look at it. And my first question is it brick? Is it cinder block? Is it a wood house or frame? So I
You want a
prefer,
foundation.
I want a foundation. Yeah, I want something that's sturdy. You know what I'm saying? Sturdy that I can go in there and build on.
Yep.
Because unfortunately, you have a lot of homes that are wood homes are, I don't know, just not as solid, as these brick homes or these block homes. So and I have much success with that. So it'd be very hard for me to go buy anything, besides a brick home. And so each one of my homes, I mean, even this triplex down here in Florida, I mean, it's a cinder block home, and it's made well that I think was built in the 60s or 70s, and my intention is to, throw some paint on the wall and update some of the stuff inside, and there you go. You got a 2020 home again, so.
Yep.
You know?
So when you look for properties, you really look for properties with good bones. You don't, you're not looking for the ones, the near tear downs, the ones that you got to take down to the studs. You want a property it's on a foundation, no mobile homes. You want good bones. You're not looking for, severe rehabs.
Right. Because again, when I went to the first inheritance of that property, I put too much money into it.
Yep.
I really did. And that's a mistake that a lot of newcomers, they're doing. They're throwing their savings, they're throwing, borrowed money into a home just to get it, rehab and get it back, going again for a tenant or even for sale. But no, I have a limit probably no more between, again, I mean, 10 is the max, but I try to stick with 7 or 8,000 where I go back in and we're able to find a tenant, so. But the home has to be somewhat decent. I cannot just go anything and purchase, so.
Yeah. That's 7 or 8,000 in rehab is like literally just painting the walls here in Seattle. So I'm jealous of that.
Really? Oh my God!
I mean, it's more than just painting the walls, but you can't do much with that amount down here, or up here. But I love it. I mean, you got your strategy, you have your location, you have your acquisition strategy as well, and so you've got your business. It's buttoned up. And it's only been 2 years, which is a major accomplishment.
Yeah.
So congratulations on that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. And, one of the biggest thing is also just really learning to take my time, learning to be humble. And that comes with asking the questions. That comes with reading solid books by authors, to teach me those things. But definitely just trying to stay humble with this thing. So
I love it. All right, so I'm gonna move us along here a little bit. We try to keep these to around 25 to 30 minutes. So I want to ask a little bit about the specific stories. We're going to move on from the nuts and bolts. I want to hear stories. What has Shawn experienced? We all know real estate. It's a roller coaster. It goes up, goes down, emotionally and physically and financially. So take us to one of the times when you were kind of hit. You were blindsided. Something that jumped out of the woodworks you didn't expect, and what was the lesson that you took out of that one? Before we continue on with today's guest, I want to tell you guys about a community I'm launching on School to help investors like yourself grow your own portfolio. In this community, you'll get access to all the docs I use, all the systems I've built, everything I've used to grow my own portfolio, as well as instructions and guidance on how to get out there and find great deals, how to finance those deals, and then how to manage them for great returns. Since we're just launching it, the price will be set at a measly $20 per month, and whatever price you join at is the price you'll have for life. We will be increasing the price as the group grows, so if you're at all interested in growing your portfolio along other investors, now is the time to join. I will put the link somewhere in the bio or on our podcast website at therealestateinvestingclub.com. So if you are interested, head on over there. With that said, let's get back to the podcast.
Well, this is an interesting story here. So one of my mentors here, basically, I told you about the owner financing, properties. So he had basically a property. He said, "Hey, look, I'll sell you this property." And I'm like, "Okay." Um, I didn't care for it too much because I knew it wasn't a brick home. I told you I like to have a brick home, cinder block home,
Yep.
and it was basically a wood frame home. I went ahead and purchased that home, and that was probably my my third home, out of the seven. And so going in there, I inherited some tenants who were very well different. I tell you, different. I mean, and they're still different, And when I say different, I'm talking about it's hard to really just be mean to people, just I don't know. It's a whole other story. But anyway, what I was blindsided about is just what I was blindsided about with him basically is I didn't do the inspections like I should have. And it taught me a lesson where he had these tenants inside his home. And basically, these tenants was okay with that living condition. Now, one thing about Sugar Bear Properties is that I always tell myself first, and I also tell people, each home I have, I will move in there or have my mom move in there. That's the quality I put into my home, and I mean that, Gabe. It's really, really great properties that my company provide. So this home here needed a substantial amount of work, and I just basically trusted him to go along with them. And he sold me the home, not trying to go behind my, and sell me a piece of junk. I should have just done the legwork. I should have went in there and basically done the inspection, the walkthrough. And I did. And so now that home definitely needs probably more than $10,000 worth of work. It needs a roof, it needs a paint job, it needs some flooring. So that's probably the worst. That's the what I learned from. Just I don't care who you're buying it from, just inspect the house. Yeah. So
no, that is really good advice. I mean, it's really tempting when you're a new investor and you're just so eager to pull the trigger on a specific property to not get an inspection. But if you don't do that, you don't know what you don't know, and something could come up to bite you down the road. So it's a tough lesson to learn. I'm glad you came out the other side. Doesn't sound like it put you too far in the hole, but we all have those lessons. It comes to every realtor or real estate investor.
Right.
So. Awesome.
Yep, that is true.
All right. So I want to hear a little bit about, what drives you, Shawn, what drives Shawn forward. We all have those things that we do that really, it really contributes to our individual success. And so what is it like, what habits do you have that you looking back, reflecting on your career have really contributed to, getting to where you are, buying those 7 properties? What are the things that you do, day in, day out that contribute the most to your success?
I tell you, the groundwork is my family. I tell you, my sons. So I have 2 teenage sons. It's a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old. And I grew up basically without a father. And one of the things in my life is that I wanted something different with them. Growing up in a single family household, absent father, and did not have the push that I needed, meaning that someone to sit down and talk finances with me. Someone, a father to sit down and basically give me a roadmap to this thing we call life. So now at 45, I look at this and say, okay, Shawn, you have 2 sons. They look up to you. You have to go out there and do the best you can. And so that's why at 11 o'clock at night, 12 in the morning, I'm here at my table, trying to make sure I execute that and make that happen. this property thing, this investment, it will wake you up sometimes at 4 o'clock in the morning. And you're sitting here quiet in a room. You're on the internet, you're looking at different deals, you're looking at how can I enhance my ability to buy more. So my kids are really, they drive me. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
I love it. That's your kids are your why, and that is a very important thing.
Yes, there you go. My sons are my why, and maybe they don't even understand it right now, but they will by and by. You'll see why Dad does what he does. He does. You know what I'm saying? So, so it's simple,
Yeah.
And not just that. Again, going back to the traveling piece as well. So once I do retire in 3 years, I want to be able to financially support my wife and I, and also my sons and their family, meaning for a trip. So one thing I told my wife, I said, babe, when I retire, I want to do an annual trip where you and I take our sons, take their wives, take our grandkids, and we go on this vacation, Costa Rica, Spain, whatever. But I want to be able to foot that bill. I want to be able to say, hey, look, I got the flight, I got the hotel. That's my gift to you each year. So,
I love it.
That's what pushed me. Yeah, my family pushed me, man. They really do. My sons and my wife, they pushed me.
I love it.
That's why I get up and do this thing. Yep.
And the vacation thing is especially because it's something you can visualize. You can see yourself out there with your family. They don't have any financial worries. They're like, you know what, we're here with Dad and we're enjoying it. So that's great. I'm glad to hear that. So we are at the tail end of the episode, but we all need things. You've given us so much wisdom so far in this episode, so I appreciate it.
Thank you. Yes, sir. Thank you.
But you need things as well. So if someone were to bring you something, what would you want to receive?
If someone wanted to bring me something?
Yep, a deal, a contact, anything.
Well, I tell you, between now and the end of the year, I am looking actually at purchasing at least 2 more triplexes. So if someone come to me and say, hey, I got this deal for you, I'm more in this southeast district where what I know. So always my goal, my model is buy where you know as well. So I couldn't buy in Seattle because I don't know anything about Seattle, so I have to stay down here in the South, So, but I was always looking for a deal in the South region here where of a triplex. So if someone have a triplex deal for me and say, hey, I got you on this one, I would love to do it. And especially if it's on financing. So.
Little cherry on top.
Cherry on top, right, so.
Perfect. Well, yeah, Shawn, thank you again for coming on. I know I can speak for everybody listening and watching that we appreciated you coming on and sharing your wisdom. So if someone did want to get in contact with you, what would be the best way for them to do that?
Oh, probably LinkedIn, LinkedIn, or you can email me at sugarbearproperties@yahoo.com. Again, sugarbearproperties at yahoo.com. Always looking to meet new people, always looking to learn new things. So feel free to reach out to me, again, LinkedIn or my email address.
Perfect. Well, there you heard it, guys. If you want to get in contact with Shawn, sugarbearproperties@yahoo.com, or I will put his LinkedIn profile in the show notes. You can check it out there. So again, Shawn, thanks for coming on. For everybody watching, we look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the Real Estate Investing Club. If you feel we provided value, we would appreciate it if you hit that thumbs up, share it with your friends online, whatever it may be. If you'd like to share or partner with us on an investment deal, we are always looking for quality projects. Go to www.therealestateinvestingclub.com to get in contact with one of our partners. Otherwise, I hope you guys have an absolutely fantastic day, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. All right, before I officially sign off, I have a quick announcement to make. If you're interested in becoming a passive investor in one of my deals, my own company, Kaizen Properties, is looking for capital partners for our upcoming projects. We invest in what are known as recession-resistant assets, mainly self-storage facilities, mobile home and RV parks, and industrial properties. If you're interested in investing and would like to learn a little bit more about my company, our investing criteria, and some of the previous projects we've done, go to the Real Estate Investing Club podcast at therealestateinvestingclub.com and scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page. Click on the Invest With Us button. That'll pop up the investor form. Fill that out, and we will reach back out to you as soon as we can. Or if you prefer a little bit more of a personal touch, you can reach out to me at gabe@therealestateinvestingclub.com. So really, that is it. Again, it was a pleasure hanging out with you guys during this episode, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode.